There's a quiet strength in detachment, not indifference, not bitterness, not apathy, but a clear, calm separation from what no longer serves you. Some people will mistake your peace for arrogance. Others will say you've changed. And they'd be right. You did change. You stopped begging to be seen. You stopped forcing people to value you. You stopped explaining yourself to people who didn't want to understand. You didn't lose your empathy. You just grew tired of misplacing it. Attachment can be beautiful when it's mutual, respectful, and rooted in love. But when it becomes desperate, when it becomes a constant fight for crumbs of validation, it turns into a prison. You wait. You hope. You overthink every word, every silence. You try harder. You give more. And they give less. That's how the imbalance grows. The more you chase, the faster they run. The more you explain, the less they listen. The more you offer, the less they value it. Because what is given freely is often taken for granted, and what is always available is rarely treasured. You thought your loyalty would be your proof of love, but in the wrong hands, loyalty becomes your leash. Then one day, something breaks. Not a loud explosion, not a dramatic argument, just a quiet moment of clarity. You look at the situation, you look at yourself, and you realize you've been shrinking to fit into someone else's world. You've been silencing your needs so they can stay comfortable. You've been lowering your standards just to keep them around. And for what? To be tolerated, to be an option, to be loved on their terms, only when it's convenient. That's not love. That's survival. That's emotional starvation disguised as connection. And you deserve more. Detachment doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop bleeding for people who won't even offer you a bandage. It means you stop waiting for the bare minimum. It means you walk away, not out of hate, but out of self-respect. Detachment is choosing peace over chaos. It's understanding that your energy is a currency, and not everyone can afford your time anymore. It's saying, I love you, but I love myself more. I wanted this to work, but not at the cost of my dignity. I wish you well, from a distance. Because sometimes the most loving thing you can do is leave. At first, detachment feels like death, the death of the version of you who needed their validation, the version of you who tried too hard, who waited too long, who loved too deeply, without boundaries. But slowly, you are reborn. You wake up lighter. You feel clearer. You stop over-explaining. You stop seeking closure. You stop rehearsing conversations in your head. You realize they heard you. They understood you. They just didn't care enough. And that's all the closure you need. You used to scream in silence, hoping they'd notice your pain. Now, you say nothing. Silence becomes your loudest language. No begging, no chasing, no proving. Just space, just distance, just dignity. Let them wonder why you left. Let them feel the absence of your presence. That's when they remember. Your presence wasn't just background noise. It was comfort. It was safety. It was love in its purest form. But by the time they realize it, you'll be too far gone. Because detachment doesn't just free you from them, it frees you from the version of yourself that accepted less. Choosing yourself will offend people who benefited from you, not choosing you. But that's okay. You're not here to be convenient. You're not here to keep people comfortable while you suffer. You're not here to prove your worth to people who can't see it. You are not a placeholder. You are not a backup plan. You are not someone they can come back to when it's convenient. You are the storm they couldn't weather. You are the peace they couldn't match. You are the chapter they fumbled. So if you're watching this, and you're tired, and you're broken, and you're wondering if letting go means giving up, listen carefully. Letting go isn't giving up. It's growing up. It's recognizing that love should never cost you your self-worth. That peace is a sign of alignment. That distance is sometimes the loudest form of self-respect. You're not cold, you're not heartless, you're healing, you're evolving, you're reclaiming your power. And the ones who truly see you, they'll never make you beg for it. They'll never leave you questioning your worth. So walk away quietly, with grace, with dignity, with a heart full of wisdom and a soul that knows its value. Because in the end, the real glow-up isn't revenge. It's peace, it's silence, it's walking away and never looking back. You used to think power came from loud declarations, from being heard, from proving your worth in every room you entered. But now, you've learned, real power is quiet. It's in the stillness. It's in the way you no longer react. People will poke, they'll push, they'll test the limits of your silence, hoping to shake your center. But stillness is what tells them they've lost access to the parts of you they used to control. No more explaining your boundaries. No more defending your decisions. No more trying to make someone feel what they refuse to feel. You've said enough. Now your absence says the rest. There's something ironic about detachment. It's usually when you've healed, moved on, and built peace without them, that they come back. Suddenly, they remember your softness. They miss your consistency. They realize the world doesn't offer the kind of love you gave so freely. And they'll come back with apologies, with "I've changed," with stories about how they finally see it now. But be careful. Not everyone who comes back has grown. Some return because your boundaries disrupted their comfort. They don't miss you. They miss the control. They miss the access. They miss the old you who tolerated too much. Don't reopen the door for someone who only learned to knock because you locked it. Let them face the silence. Let them sit with their choices. That is their lesson, not yours. Detachment teaches you something most people never learn: how to feel everything and still remain in control. How to love deeply, but not lose yourself in the process. How to let people go without hatred in your heart. This isn't emotional numbness. It's emotional mastery. When you no longer fear losing someone, you stop betraying yourself to keep them. When you no longer seek external validation, you stop shrinking to be accepted. When you stop reacting emotionally to every trigger, you become untouchable. The world becomes quieter. Your mind becomes sharper. Your decisions become clearer. Because when your peace costs too much, you choose silence over chaos every time. Read this carefully. You were never hard to love. You were just trying to be loved by people who didn't know how. You weren't asking for too much. You were just asking the wrong people. You thought if you proved your worth, they'd stay. If you loved harder, they'd change. If you gave more, they'd finally choose you. But love that must be earned through self-abandonment isn't love. It's performance. It's survival. You don't have to convince the right person of your value. They'll feel it. They'll honor it. They'll protect it. And until you find that kind of love, choose yourself over and over, loudly, unapologetically, completely. Some people think detachment is a sign of trauma, but in reality, it can be a strategy, a conscious, powerful shift in how you move through the world. You're no longer giving people the ability to emotionally manipulate you. You're no longer reacting to disrespect with desperate attempts to fix it. You're no longer trying to fix broken people while breaking yourself in the process. That's not cold. That's intelligent. That's evolution. Because every time you ignore the red flags, every time you justify the emotional inconsistency, you teach people how little they need to do to keep access to you. But the moment you detach, truly, fully, energetically, you flip the dynamic. Now they have to earn what used to be handed to them on a silver plate. Here's the part most people misunderstand. Detachment doesn't require hate. You don't have to burn bridges. You don't have to wish them harm. You don't have to prove you're over it by showing anger. You can love them. You can remember the good times. You can even hope they heal, just not on your watch. Forgive them, not because they asked for it, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve to be free. Let go of the weight. Let go of the story. Let go of what should have been. They are no longer your responsibility. Your healing is. This new version of you, the one who walks away, the one who protects their peace, the one who doesn't beg, doesn't chase, doesn't settle. That version is powerful, and not everyone will like that version, because that version won't tolerate emotional games, won't beg for the bare minimum, won't play small to be accepted. Some will say you're too much now. Some will say you've changed. Yes, you have. And you're not going back, because this version of you is the one that finally feels free. Not bound by the past, not defined by anyone else, not living in fear of being alone. This version chooses solitude over disrespect, boundaries over approval, healing over repeating cycles. You no longer chase, you attract, you align, you decide. So if you've made it this far, here's your reminder. You didn't lose them. You found you. And in a world that benefits from your self-abandonment, that's the most radical thing you can do. Detach, not to escape, but to evolve. Let them wonder. Let them miss you. Let them face the silence they created. Because your silence is sacred now. Your energy is sacred. Your peace is priceless. And you? You finally realized you were always the prize.